Hello, everyone. Welcome to Danish Reviews, where each week we look at a different topic and provide a unique perspective that will both entertain and educate. So stay tuned. So, speaking of education, let's start with a pop quiz. What do Jay Sean, Bashar al Assad, Ken Jeong, and Che Guevara have in common? Besides their smoldering good looks. So, they all went to medical school at some point. Some didn't finish. We're looking at you, Jay. While some did, but their careers took such a huge pivot that we sort of forgot they were doctors in the first place. And, some did mass murder as a side gig. No, you can. This other guy right here. So this week, we'll take a look at a medical doctor who did, very naughty and very murdery things. His name was Christopher Daniel Duntsch. Seen here trying to explain to your patient why her neck doesn't quite look right. So he's a former American neurosurgeon who has been nicknamed Dr. D, which unfortunately does not stand for Daniel or Duntsch or Dickbag or Dickwood or Dipshit or Douche or Dumbass. Death. It stood for death, which was considerably a lot more sinister, but was a lot more fitting considering the things that he did over his career. Duntsch was accused of injuring 33 out of 38 patients in less than 2 years before his license was finally revoked by the Texas Medical Board. They notoriously have a pretty high threshold for taking action on killer surgeons, just as John Oliver. Anyway, Duntsch was born in the Midwest and grew up in the South, so naturally he played football, where maybe his thirst for destroying people's brains and nervous systems started. Quick disclaimer, I love football. Go Irish. So after realizing he was pretty bad at football, but not quite famous enough to do insurance ads, Duntsch decided to do brain surgery instead. So Duntsch completed his residency having participated in fewer than 100 instead of the requisite 1,000 surgeries. Not because he was particularly brilliant, but because he was noted to be coked out of his mind half the time. He was sent to a program for impaired physicians. As a side note, he also liked strippers and actually went on to marry one and had kids with her. It's actually pretty sweet and is one of the bright spots in his otherwise really, really miserable life. So one of the more interesting aspects of Duntsch's life is he was actually pretty brilliant and he did an MD PhD degree, which is done by a tiny percentage of people who ever do an MD or a PhD. And after doing that, he decided to focus on the PhD half of his degree because he was really bad at surgery, but he was a brilliant academic. However, he needed some cash to cover his college debt and get more of that sweet cocaine. So he decided to do neurosurgery in Texas on a cool $600,000 per year salary. Unfortunately, fellow surgeons soon realized that even though Duntsch talked a big game, he was pretty bad at actually practicing medicine. And one of the surgeons was Randall Kirby, seen here after catching Duntsch in the act. Now, Randy was a vascular surgeon who noted that most of Duntsch's patients became severely maimed after his surgeries and not before, should be the case for people who need brain or spine surgeries. And some of these injuries included paralysis, excessive bleeding, bone shots in the spine, quadriplegia, and death. A lot of death. Now, I'm not sure how familiar you all are with neurosurgery, but such outcomes are generally not accepted as normal in most of the procedures. With the help of Dr. Kirby and other surgeons, who realized that they needed to protect patients from him, Duntsch was eventually suspended, indicted, and convicted. He's currently serving a life imprisonment sentence at OB Ellis Unit outside Huntsville, where he serves as the resident medic for inmates who have been very bad boys. So that's a wrap for today, kids. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and always keep on learning. Till next time.